Morning, my electrolytes. How y'all doing today? So we're gonna be watching a video by Buzzfeed. Oh boy, called "Women Review Sexist Vintage Ads." So let's see what kind of garbage they're gonna be spewing today. Roll the intro.
No one wants to go back in time but white men. Like, there's no other time for anyone else to have a great time.
A few minutes into the intro, Buzzfeed, and I already want to jab a pencil into my eye. That's a new record, Buzzfeed. And that's what's presented at the beginning of the video. The rest of the video is gonna be hot trash. Oh boy, this does not bode well at all. This does not bode well.
Does your husband look younger than you do? Because that's a crime.
What does he have to do with anything? I don't care if he looks younger than me or not.
How many of the wives look older than their years and tragically older than their husband?
older than their husband.
Getting older is a tragedy, apparently.
You know, this ad was printed like basically in the 1950s and stuff, where women were more worried about that, looking good for their husbands. Nowadays, women have the choice. Like, you want to look how you want to look. That's fine. I don't mind that. But keep the ad as is. It is vintage. It does not apply to now. So why are you worried about it now? The ad that was back in the 1950s. You cannot apply the past to now. It doesn't work. So don't worry about it. Just look at the ad and say, hey, yeah, that was in its time. We'll leave it back there. But this is now. Just leave it back there, my friends. Just leave it back there. Some advice for you to take.
Someone who's dating a younger man, I resent that statement.
It's a natural way to look younger after 30, because after 30, you're just done.
I didn't know like 30 was old.
It's not!
A few minutes in, and I already want to put a pin in my eye and just call it quits. Seriously, why? Like I said, why are you worried about it so much? Like I said, that's a product of its time. It's a vintage ad. Why did you take participating in this if you know you're going to get easily offended? Why? Oh, the logic of some feminists boggles my mind, I tell you.
If your husband ever finds out about not storing the freshest coffee, you're gonna get a spanking.
Let a man flip me over like this, unless it's in the bedroom, I don't think so.
I think it's kind of hot, to be honest. No qualms here. I think it's kind of hot, man. To be honest. And you do not know what humor is. They're obviously taking the piss at you. They're taking the piss at you. They're not being serious. Your husband's not going to actually do that. Come on now. They're just taking the piss, and you're falling right for the humor, to be honest. Wow. The comedy level on some feminists that they don't get is pretty high. You're just taking the piss and you're falling for it. And to be honest, to me, that's pretty hot, to be honest. That's just me. That's just me. I would like that. Am I the only one around here? Am I the only one? Yeah, I'm the only one. Oh boy.
This is an advertisement for coffee?
This looks like an ad for 50 Shades of Grey.
This just makes me realize everything on Mad Men is not an exaggeration.
Did you just state that everything you see on Mad Men is not an exaggeration? Do you know Mad Men is a fictional TV show that is based on the 50s? Based on the 50s. It is fictional TV show, not to be taken real. They take some slight liberties with that. So you can't use that as your argument. Oh my god, you can't use that as your point. That's a fictional TV show. They take slight liberties with that. Come on now. Think.
She's gonna shoot herself because she's having a bad hair day?
I can't think of a worse message to send to young girls.
Her hair is on point.
Let's be real.
What is happening here?
You could never, ever get away with this today.
We couldn't get away with that today. Why? Because you would whine and complain about it. That the ad is sexist. That's why we couldn't get away with it today. It's an ad for shampoo. Relax. Come on now. Yes, it's a little distasteful and edgy and dark. Yeah. But like I said, it's a product of its time. They didn't give less of a care back then. They didn't really care about like your feelings and all that. They didn't really care about that. They just cared about selling a product. That's all they cared about. As long as people got to buy the product, they don't care what the advertisement looked like. Do you not know how marketing works at all and selling things? You have no idea how that works, do you? Oh boy.
You shouldn't be able to either, because like suicide shouldn't be a joke or a marketing scheme.
Was it distasteful and dark? Like I said, yes. But they don't care. They didn't care as much as they do now. They didn't cater to feelings. All they cared was how many bottles were sold and how many people bought the product. That was all they cared about back then. They didn't care about how it looked or how people reacted to it. They didn't care. They just cared how many bottles flew off the shelves and how much money was in their pocket. That's basically all they cared about back then. They didn't care about like your feelings and stuff. Do you not realize that time is different than now? If they would have come to this time, they're like, what is going on here, man? Wow, we were so sensitive. You see that? Do you see that? Oh boy. I don't know how am I gonna survive the rest of this video.
Women of the future will make the moon a cleaner place to live.
We're not done cleaning up the earth for men. We're gonna take it to outer space. Sexism exists on the moon.
Were women back then like okay seeing this stuff? For them to constantly be printing this stuff means that like the norm was for this to be okay.
Your guy.
You hit the nail right on the head. Back then, that was the norm. People were used to that kind of stuff. They weren't as sensitive as they are nowadays. You hit it right on the head. That was the norm back then. The norm today is you basically being sensitive and you can't print as much stuff like you did back then. Because it would offend some people and it would get taken off shelves and taken off the airwaves and taken down and everything else. One thing people complain about, or the feminists complain about, and it's taken down immediately, right away, they cave in. Boom, done. It is taken down. So, what are you complaining about, to be honest? Like I said, it's a part of his time, and it was a norm. Relax.
Your number one reason for my doll.
Be the you he likes?
Good to be around any day of the month.
My vagina can't.
I totally thought this was like, your guy's gonna give you a headache.
Nope.
Take my doll.
Nope.
No, it's so you cannot give him a headache.
Who knows? If I had blood coming out of my penis 3 to 5 days or 2 to 7 days, I would not want nobody to be around me, especially my girlfriend. I would not want nobody to be around me. So you gotta understand why guys don't want to be around you during those days. It's tough, man. If I had blood coming out of my penis, like I said, every 3 to 5 days or 2 to 7 days, I wouldn't want nobody around me. I want everybody to leave me alone. So you got to understand. And basically, you're proving the ad right, essentially. You're being a headache right now. You've been a headache through this whole video. You've been a giant headache through this whole video.
By being a bitch.
I'm sorry, if he's my reason to take my doll, like you need a better one.
No.
Not that you're menstruating.
No, it's not that the uterine lining is being ripped out of you.
Some can be alright and some can be terrible. There's this, like I said, if I had something coming out of my penis every 3 to 5 days or 2 to 7 days, I would not want nobody around me. And that's basically how you would feel also. You don't want nobody around you when you're doing that. So you can understand why guys don't want to be around you. It's not because you're menstruating and all that. Not that we don't understand that you're going through pain or anything like that. It's just that we just want to leave you alone so you can get better. That's the thing. We don't want to bother you or piss you off, essentially. We don't want to do that. We know you're in pain. We know that. We understand that. You're in pain. And you got to understand why we leave you alone sometimes. It's just so like you can rest and relax, pretty much. You think guys are insensitive, but they're really not. You have no idea. Guys understand. They do. That you're in pain. And they do everything they can to accommodate you as much as possible to make sure you're relaxed, comfortable, and that way they can get through this and you can get through this very easily. Guys are pretty understanding when it comes to that kind of thing. Most guys are. But most guys don't want to be around, and I understand. There's 2 different sets of guys here, girls, and you're only talking about one. You didn't talk about the other one that's pretty much accommodating. So, you only talk about one side of the argument here, which is very fallacious and very dishonest of you.
But why is she cleaning if we're advertising cereal? Keep up with the house while you keep down your weight. What? No, two gender stereotypes.
So this is for a cereal. This isn't like even a cleaning product. It's also like these are the only two things a woman could be doing.
There's nothing wrong with the way it's like advertised. Like I say, it's a product of its time. And hold up here. What's wrong with cleaning? I have no idea what's wrong with cleaning. I do clean around my house. I do the dishes. I mop. I clean the tables. I vacuum. I do all that. And I'm a guy. So I don't see what's wrong with cleaning. As long as you split it 50-50, I don't see what's wrong with cleaning there. And the cereal, there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. That's just the marketing and advertising thing. Come on. Do you not understand how advertisers work? I have a feeling you don't understand how advertisers work at all whatsoever.
This is what was supposed to represent women's concerns of the time.
Oh. What's happening here?
They're just looking at her with very predatory eyes. Absolutely.
It kind of feels like, I mean, it feels like a gangbang to me.
For another video, this ad was banned in the US, outright banned, because people found fault with it. Even celebrities found fault with it. So it was outright banned. So I don't even know why you're mentioning it. And there's another reverse ad that's the same thing, but with a woman thing. But as long as it's a woman in charge and not a guy, you have no problem with it. The woman doing the same thing that the guy is doing, you wouldn't say one word to it whatsoever. As long as it's the guy doing it, it's the male oppressors and stuff. Give me a break.
It's really scary, actually.
She's just like literally sitting there as a thing that's being used by these dudes.
Now I'm realizing we've kept similar sentiments, just taken away the words.
Here's the picture of the exact same ad that they were looking at, but with a woman in charge instead of the dude. It's the exact same ad, but they're not saying a word because it's a woman in charge instead of a dude. How are they not spotting the hypocrisy here? How are they not spotting the hypocrisy? Either it's all okay or none of it's okay. Yes, I understand the other one was gang rapey, but if you're going to condemn that one, condemn this one also. Nothing's wrong with sex. Nothing at all. Nothing is wrong with sex. But if you're going to condemn that other one, condemn this one as well. Come on, don't just condemn one thing. You look like a hypocrite if you're only condemning one thing. Come on here. You can't be this lacking in knowledge. You can't.
So it's just more subtle, but still f***ed up.
It'll blow your mind away.
And so will she, I guess. But wait a minute, if the burger's gonna blow your mind away, wouldn't the burger be giving you the blowjob?
You don't understand humor, do you? Apparently you're so devoid of humor. Yes, it's childish humor, but it's funny humor. Come on. Let's have a laugh or a sense of humor. Come on. I know you can do it.
There was no need to make selling a hamburger sexual.
This is what makes women self-conscious to just eat a banana.
I don't
That's just stupid.
like in these sexual ads where the woman looks like she doesn't want it.
This is one of the simplest representations of inequality between men and women.
I would be cool with this ad if this man was also showing me his sexy six-pack and posing like a sexy model.
Sex sells. Fine. Sex sells. That's what it is. And second of all, the ad looks fine to me. It looks pretty fine to me. One is selling a sweater, the other is selling a flannel. Do you not know the difference? Oh my God, are you kidding me? You can't be this devoid of thinking. You can't. Oh my God. I'm about to have a nervous breakdown. This is so stupid.
Looks like an everyday kind of situation. This is clearly a very specific situation.
It looks like they boned and then Nadine got the shirt.
I don't even know how this shirt is gonna look on me.
It's a
Are we almost finished here? Because they're just rambling now. Are we almost finished here? Because it's just rambling and rambling on and on.
unisex shirt, so they're trying to sell it to men and women, but both ads make it look like they're selling it to men.
A man and a woman in a photo. Apparently they're trying to sell it to men and women. Think! It's not that hard. Use your brain. It's not that hard, guys. Come on.
I guess the sexism kind of morphed. It didn't go away or necessarily get better.
Women are being put down in the ads, but in totally different ways.
No, they're not. You cannot tell me that the 1950s ads you look at and the 2017 ads you're looking at right now are just as bad as the 1950 ones. You can't tell me that. You cannot tell me that. You're telling me that, you're lying to me. And I know you're lying to me. Just look at that and compare it to that. It's pretty tame today. You got it good today. You really got it good. Appreciate it.
Before it was like, well, women are only good for cleaning, ha ha ha, they're so dumb. And now it's like, well, women are only good for sex.
I don't know.
We're gonna ignore it. We have double standards. I'm literally going mad.
Which one is worse, but I know that they both suck.
It seems like the ads are still geared towards men.
It also makes me wonder how many women are creating advertisements. Because my guess is very few.
Somebody hire me to make more ads, because I think I'd be better than all those people.
Keep your paws out of the advertisement industry. We don't need it. Women do make ads, but we don't need your kind of input because you complain about everything they put on paper. You would be there for days and days. The employees had not have a lunch break or a coffee break or a water break or anything. They would be there for days. I mean, skeletons by the time you're done finished until it is approved to what you approve. No, stay away. So, my electrolytes, what did we learn today? We learned that Buzzfeed knows nothing about how advertisers work, and they think the 1950s ads transfer over to 2017, which they don't. So that's going to be it for me, my electrolytes. Have a good day, and stay awesome.